Welcome all listeners. It's 10 o'clock and welcome to another exciting episode of a LinkedIn talk show series, Productivity League. We believe that productivity is not just a metric, it's a way of life. It's an ever-growing habit where we learn each day and implement the learnings to be at least 0.1% better every new day. In a talk show series, Productivity League, our mission is clear. We want to build a dynamic and constructive learning community around this vital topic, productivity. The objective is that we all grow together with the collective knowledge and experiences of our entire community. I am Kunal Sinha, your moderator, and today we're diving deep into a topic that's a shift post-COVID, and it is a fundamental soul of modern organizations. Best practices to manage a hybrid workforce. So let me quickly introduce the speakers. In this episode, we're privileged to have two distinguished guest speakers. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Aravind Raghunathan, the Chief Technology Officer at Yavar.ai, and Mr. Swapnil Tripathi, Chief Revenue Officer at We360.ai. Together, they bring a wealth of experience and insights to this crucial conversation. Mr. Aravind Raghunathan has around 20 plus years of work experience in diverse technology domains, cloud, cybersecurity, AI, machine learning, and many more. Before joining Yavar, Aravind held various key positions at prominent organizations including Netcom, Misa, VMware, Capgemini, and IBM. Aravind happens to be a Madras University alumnus and is majored in computer science. He has won various accolades and awards from prestigious IT publications. Our second guest, Mr. Swapnil Tripathi, also happens to be a Madras University alumnus. So that is a sweet coincidence today. And three cheers to the Madras University alumnus people out there. Swapnil also brings around 20 years of experience in esteemed organizations and has helped multiple companies in generating 120 plus crores revenue so far in his career. And before starting We360, he successfully exited as an edtech founder. And prior to that, he has held key positions in prominent organizations including Reliance, Tata, ICICI, and MP. Welcome again, Mr. Aravind and Mr. Swapnil.
Thanks, Kunal.
Thanks, Kunal, for the introduction.
Yeah. So let me quickly explain the structure of today's event to both of you, and then we can quickly get into the discussion. So to start with, what I would want that both of you can quickly express your own thoughts and insights on today's discussion, just a quick one, and also tell us something exciting about your own journey so far. And then what we can do is we can get into some specific questions that we have received from our listeners. And on those questions, I would like to understand from both of you that how the same challenges has solutions addressed differently to young high growth startups who are exactly working into the same kind of domain of artificial intelligence. So getting into the real action, I invite Mr. Aravind to first of all express your quick thoughts and tell us something about your own journey.
Sure, Kunal. Good morning, Mr. Swapnil. Good morning, everyone. It is my pleasure to be here with you all today, and I really thank We360 for giving me this opportunity and getting connected with you all. My journey so far, I'm very fortunate, I would say, to be having a diverse kind of an experience all the way from cloud to cybersecurity and the AI and ML. So, as we all know, now AI and ML is no longer just a buzzword, and it is getting implemented in each and every product on every second basis. So, the AI and ML was my passion. I used to code 6 years back, and not many people at those time know about the machine learning algorithms and other stuff. Very few and being used in some niche areas. And thanks to newer tools and thanks to AI becoming a commodity as to B2C kind of a tool, now AI is everywhere, and everyone knows about it. So my journey is so far, I've been again worked in various countries, different position, leadership position, all the way to the CTO position at Yavar. And Yavar is a very energetic company. We've been in 2 years. We created products around AI and full stack development, machine learning. And we have clients from 5 different countries so far. And our aspiration is to become the leading AI partner in the next couple of years. That's the introduction brief.
Thanks, Mr. Aravind. Thanks for your thoughts, and we are really privileged to have you here with your wonderful experience. So, Swapnil, handing over to you now. Your thought about today's event and something about your journey.
Yeah, thanks, Kunal. And once again, we are privileged to have you on board, Arvind, as one of our esteemed speakers. My journey. Another common thread I'll tell you, Kunal, that both of us started our career at the same year also. So I passed out. I did my MBA from IBS Hyderabad, and I started working from 2004, where I saw Arvind also started his career. So exactly 20 years.
That's right. That's right.
So there is another common thread. So Arvind, I am a pass out of DG Vaishnav College, Anna Nagar. So
Oh, right, right.
so coming to my journey, I have been throughout a sales professional, and I am very enthusiastic about sales as a profession. And as Kunal rightly said, that one day we were sitting and calculating that how much of sales I would have done in my 20 years of career. So there we came out to some rough figure. Uh, Now the whole objective here is that post COVID, the working patterns have changed. Hybrid work from home is becoming a norm, and organizations are looking forward to various means and ways how they can the employees can be more productive irrespective from where they are working. So to cut it short, We360.ai is trying to be a global player as far as employee productivity and workforce analytics is concerned, and that is where the journey started between three of us, and it's we are very proud of the fact that we have come a long way. So I think this particular event is more. We would love to hear Arvind more, and I have certain set of questions for Arvind, which he can take it as as he wants, and that is how we will be going with the flow of this particular event. So, Arvind, the first question I have for you is how can we thoughtfully evaluate the performance of a hybrid workforce while maintaining a strong commitment to respecting the privacy boundaries of our employees? So, I want to have your thoughts that, first of all, I would like to understand your journey or experience of hybrid as a CTO. I'm sure, you will be working with a large team, and, what kind of work patterns you have in your organization, and how you ensure that irrespective of from where the employees are working, their performance or productivity is maintained without getting too much into the privacy.
Hey, thanks, Swapnil. That's really an interesting question. And to start off that, I would say that I am still an hybrid worker myself. Today I'm sitting in Chennai, whereas the entire office is in Coimbatore, 600 kilometers away. So I've been a hybrid worker for, I would say now around 4 years. Working for a company in Middle East. I've been working in India for a Middle East company for 2 years. Now with Yavar, used to do frequent travel to Coimbatore, but I'm consider myself most as a hybrid worker. So coming to your question of evaluating the performance of the new age or the hybrid culture, and also thoughtfully thinking about the privacy boundaries is really going to be a delicate balance. It's not like not achievable, it's definitely doable, but we need to follow some measured and cautious step in order to achieve the same. Some points which comes to my mind is the first and foremost would be setting the expectations right. It's one of the paramount thing. We need to clearly communicate the performance expectations and criteria to the employees, let there be a hybrid employee or an office worker or completely a remote worker. Expectations of their performance has to be clearly communicated well in advance. And another metrics or the performance metric, I believe, is to focus more on the outcome. Like outcome meaning that for a sales individual, it might be a sales target. For someone else, a project manager, it might be like a project completion, or a call center employee, something like a customer satisfaction. rather than going into the micromanagement activities and monitoring and other stuff. I strongly believe that there has to be a performance metrics which has to tie along with the outcomes. And another point is provide kind of a regular updates on their progress of each employee, because now no longer, or the work culture is kind of an hybrid. You think that the employees are happy, or the employees are supposed to do the productive levels. It may not be the case. So having a regular performance updates or and kind of an checkpoint with the employees is very paramount this day and age and this work culture. And most of this task, I would say it is going to be a lot of responsibility or an additional responsibility will fall on the managers, the immediate managers of an employee. The managers are now not only going to do the managerial activities, but also should work as a coach for the employees, meaning that get the feedback, talk to them, have a clear, uh, open conversation with your employees. Get to know their day-to-day activities, their problems if they are facing any. Get to know their strength, weakness, and act as a coach. Work on skill development. If they need some kind of an training, work on that. Give them the training. Or sometimes it might be just some small tools which they need in order to increase their productivity and in turn improve the company's goals and other stuff. So the manager plays a crucial role now than the earlier ways to have a constant touch with all their subordinates and to make sure that everyone is happy in achieving their performance as per their KPIs and KRAs. And also work on a proper kind of a system, like proper rules in place, rather than just communicating the outcome, what they need, or what company is expecting over an email or over just a video call. Make sure you implement some tools, ERP, CRM, some kind of an tools where the employee can also uh, every now and then go back to the tool, check what is my priorities, what is my performance indications, what should I do on day-to-day basis, and that will they will be aware of what next and how they can improve on their own also. Some of the don'ts, I would say, I myself have seen in certain organization some weird kind of an breaching the privacy kind of a boundaries. Like there are some companies when the COVID starts, they even send some CCTV or a camera by the company to even monitor the employees during the work hours. And also there are some companies which I know monitors how many times the desktop is kind of unlocked, how many times these are going on, how many emails an employee is sending per day. And the weird of all is like some of the managers, which I have also heard, and that they say that they monitor the employees' WhatsApp and other social medias, their personal areas, and see the last seen time, and then call them and say that, hey, you are online for the last 5 minutes, but you are not replied to my email yet. So these kind of um, I would say not an ethical way at this moment. We have to respect everyone's privacy and other stuff. Putting a CCTV cameras and these kind of micromanagement is definitely infringing the employee's privacy. And instead of doing those, it has to be a focused, as I mentioned earlier, it has to be a focus based approach. We need to work on the goals like their targets, sales target, or customer satisfaction. These should be the paramount of measurement. And again, it is becoming a common, and me being one of the use case here, employees can work away from their home, the company's headquarters. Like, for example, I've been in my headquarters of my company was in Qatar, and I've been working from India. So it is very important to have a strong data and security practices and also protect those compliance of these employees according to their countries. Like if we are at European national, make sure that all the whatever you collect the data from the employees and other stuff follows the regulations like GDPR. And if you are into some kind of healthcare and pharma, make sure all these guidelines like HIPAA, everything is being considered. So since it's going to be a diverse kind of environment, we have to make sure that these compliances are also being monitored or captured so that there is no deviation or any privacy violations on it. Uh, some of the other considerations, which I would say is the leaders of the organization should set an example by respecting the privacy and fostering the culture of trust and respect within the organization. This definitely improves the trust that the employees keep towards the organization. They feel that they are part of it in every journey or every day towards the journey and the vision of the company. And the last point I would say is have a policy of the performance evaluation, but have it dynamic. Make sure that you don't, if you create a policy 2 years before during the COVID, make sure you revisit the policy and align them to the changing needs which are happening out there in the world, and make sure that these are the privacy and other regulations are being kept and being updated every now and then. Don't have the policy fixed and rigid. Make sure we revisit the policies and make sure that these policies aid in increasing the performance of the employees, at the same time protect their privacy and not being too intrusive into their personal life. I think these are some of the stuff and much more which we can follow to strike the balance between the increasing the performance of the hybrid workforce and also make sure the privacy quotient of the employees are at.
Very true, Arvind, and I think these thoughts make a lot of sense. As far as we kind of we have to be very clear with our workforce also in terms of what are the expectation from where you started, and I think that's a very valid point. Uh, Now, I would like to understand from you because of your background, especially in machine learning and artificial intelligence. Uh, what kind of role these technologies are going to play to in supporting flexible or hybrid work model. So how artificial intelligence or machine learning is going to come into role play as far as hybrid work models are concerned, how they can make it more efficient, more effective as far as employees are concerned. So what are your thoughts on that?
Sure. So artificial intelligence and the machine learning are no more the buzzwords, right? So and definitely these are getting implemented in each and every product. Let it be the corporate softwares, solutions, and all the way to even telephones to even TVs. So AI and ML play a very crucial role, and every tool or a software used in any corporates is empowered with a lot of artificial intelligence and machine learning technology uh, every day and continuous. It's a continuous process which every company has taken it. So for maybe I'll split it into two. Some of them are applicable to all the employees, irrespective of them hybrid or office workers or remote workers. Like the introduction of the commercial tool or commercial AI like ChatGPT. Tools like ChatGPT has completely taken the AI-driven tools, and these can simplify and automate the routine task. So it allows the employee to focus on much more critical work rather than doing the burden of repeating tasks. That's one of the way it can improve the overall productivity of the employee. These are one of the tool, this is ChatGPT, but there are in every day as we speak and all the collaboration tools. The collaboration tools like the major tools like Teams, Google Meet, Zoom, and everything has after the COVID or during the times they have significantly improved the features and they consider the work nature to be more hybrid. And certain features, like for example, earlier these tools were just being used for communication purposes. Because earlier start only with the voice over IP, just an audio, and then they added the video feature, then added some kind of an group or a meeting features. This was before pre-COVID. After this, there have been a lot of with an AI and development on this. There are a lot of features which includes, like for example, real-time language translations. So again, since you might have your vendor or even your fellow employee might be in a different geographic region, and if they are not native speakers of English, so there are these kind of modern tools just do the real-time language translation and also do the transcription features. These are some of the things which are now built in thanks to AI and advancement in machine learning. There are a lot of these kind of tiny intelligent bots which got embedded into these tools and make this as a much easier to consume for the corporate world. Not only that, people who are using the softwares like Office 365 or Google Meet lately would have realized that they would have got an email either Monday morning or Friday evening, an analysis or analytics report of trends. Like for example, say you've been on Teams call or voice call for such and such hours. You've been on meetings for these many hours a week. You've been sending these many emails. So these kind of analytics gives the employee that what he's doing, and it's also helping in a way like a coach to them. So telling them that hey, you've been on a longer calls, you've been on taking a back-to-back meetings. Why don't you take a break, relax yourself? And on the other side, if there is not much of a work being done, hey, why don't you? There are some works which are pending. There are some tasks being assigned. It's better you focus now because it's been last week. It's kind of not interaction as much. It might be because of a leave reason or something else. But if it's a genuine, why don't you increase your pace? So these kind of analytics are also getting built in. And the best thing is these feature, even though there are kind of an add-on which was not there earlier, these company make sure that these are added to the base product itself, and it's not going to be an add-on feature in most of the cases. They are trying to make these tool enriched with AI features for, let's say, most of them are with no additional cost than earlier. So definitely these AI tools increases the efficiency of these virtual meetings, and they also suggest like the agenda items, managing the schedules, and even summarizing the discussion. So this is one of the new feature getting introduced. Like for example, if you have a 1 hour uh, talk, even something like what we are doing right now, and there is someone who uh, was traveling who is not able to attend to a meeting like this or a tech talk like this, the AI summarizing tool can really summarize the entire 1 hour, let's say 1 hour of this event into the major bullet points, key takeaways, and summarizes in a very small thing so that the employees or any individual who want to get use who couldn't attend the meeting can get all the gist and the essence of it. So these are some of the tools which is for all the employees irrespective of the nature of work. And there are definitely some of the AI being built into specific like the office goers and hybrid kind of an employee. One being that most of the companies have shrink down on the real estate of their offices. So resource planning is one of the kind of a tool which is getting very popular now, where the employee, if he wishes to go to office, let's say he has a meeting or today he feels like he wants to go to office, it's been a long time I'm working at home. So there is a resource planning kind of some softwares what they can tell you that how many people are today coming to office. Will you be getting a desk space if you go today, or is the meeting room is already booked, or do you have the meeting room vacant for you? So rather than going to the office, do the all the traveling and spending time and then reaching there and finding that the office is either full or the office is even closed because of some maintenance and other stuff, these kind of tools improves those kind of resource planning and well in advance. The another area which is of very important uh, is on the cybersecurity. So traditionally, all the security, all the corporates used to put big firewalls in their core offices or in their headquarters, which used to work good because the earlier everyone mostly used to come to office in a centralized area. So this was an good option. But now with these hybrid works and working people working completely remote, these firewalls are not going to be enough in terms of protecting the employee. So there are other traditional way of connecting remotely. They call it as VPN and other stuff, which doesn't help the remote workers in terms of the flexibility. These are really a difficult process. There are a couple of passwords, couple of passcodes that gets disconnected frequently. So with a lot of these kind of machine learning algorithm and AI, and also a lot of technical advances in the cybersecurity area, there is a new way of securing the endpoints of an employees, and they also have an acronym called SASE. So where even the cybersecurity now is more focused towards hybrid work, where it doesn't matter where the employee really sits, whether it is sitting in office or remote or mix of both. The endpoints or the employees is always protected from the cyber threat. That's an advancement or the way which is going towards the cybersecurity. And another area is everyone, it's evident to everyone, is learning and development. So learning and development is more now happening digitally over the physical media. And definitely the AI gives you the tools, or the AI enriched platforms gives you a personal learning experience, and it recommends based on either your career, your day-to-day work, and your skills to improve your knowledge and improve within your organization. The last point is, if done correctly, if used all the process and procedures and meticulously calculated all the scenarios, there are a lot of cost management and optimization tools available, AI driven, of course. So, using these tools, an organization can keep track of the remote related expenses, because there are a lot of expenses now for even a remote worker which a company pays to them. So these are also checked, as made sure that these doesn't exceed a certain threshold. And definitely overall, if done right, there is going to be a huge optimization of cost, which that tool can help you today. So I think these are some of the points how an AI is enhanced the hybrid workforce model and created some kind of an impact on them.
Great. In fact, I would also like to add something very interesting as far as the AI is concerned. That especially in larger organizations, we have observed that after the advent of AI, the top management became more aware about the challenges and problems of the people down the food chain. So this way also it has helped employees. Like say for instance, there are ways based on, like Arvind has mentioned, that there are ways wherein there are various AI tools which can study the working pattern of employees, and even without employee going to their supervisors or top management seeking help, organizations can get to know the challenges faced by employees and can come to the rescue, and that is another very healthy way of taking care of the workforce. So another interesting question I have in mind for you, Arvind, is that can you please share some instances where you have encountered inventive or imaginative approaches that organizations have effectively used to improve the hybrid work experience for the employees? So, any instance which comes to your mind which has been very inventive and effective as far as managing the hybrid workforce?
Right. See, as you said earlier, I've been also like more than 3 years now, been as an hybrid worker. So definitely, in couple of organization, I personally witnessed some of these kind of an instances, approaches by the corporate. Some are innovative and some are, I would say, necessity on this. So some things like which I personally witnessed, or the organization giving some kind of an flexible stipend to the employees to set up the personalized workstation at their home. Like they give you a kind of an e-commerce platform, kind of a web page where they can employees can choose, either it can be an computer table, it can be a monitor, it can be a ergonomic chairs, it can be a noise cancellation microphones or a headphones. It's a bouquet of products which, and it's been given to the employee to choose according to their need. And that's been done by a couple of organization, even the organization which I earlier worked with. Along with one step ahead on this is also when it comes to furniture and other stuff. Not everyone is has all these ideas to fix in these kind of equipments and furnitures and other things. Tech, I guess most of the techies will be able to do it, but some kind of furniture fixing and other stuff, we may not have the right tools. So in this case, the organization also partners with some kind of an concierge services. They have some kind of an organization who can help these employees whenever they take some kind of an furniture or some kind of an equipment which needs some fixing and other stuff. These concierge company act as a single point of contact for them. So who all the way goes to procurement, delivery, and also fixing these kind of gadgets at their office. And also along with this, some of the collaboration tools, in some cases if they need to configure some of the external devices, anything if the employee needs, if the employee is not from the tech background, like for example finance and other stuff, who might need an help in setting up these kind of tools, that's also been taken care by these concierge companies. The another one again which I experienced, and I've been using this, is the business center memberships. So let's say that some of the days the employee who's working from home needs some dedicated time, or some time to be in a quiet room. He might have some important meetings, or he need to focus and to complete some kind of an maybe a difficult or a complex task. Um, Companies usually partner with these business centers which are spread across different places, and give them a membership card, so where they can go to their nearest thing near to their house, wherever they are, business center, and they can use these meeting rooms or the small office focus rooms for a couple of hours or whatever the flexibility they need. Or even they can use this for some hosting a meetings. And this concept is also again kicking in a lot. Now I can see a lot of companies are working on the meeting room charge per hour, and working room charges every hour. These kind of concepts is also coming up a lot nowadays. These are, I would say, kind of a mandatory. I don't see this as an innovative or an imaginative kind of stuff. But I do have a couple of my friends in US and Germany who has given me some of the, or spoken about some of their innovative things. So which includes obviously with AI and other stuff, we cannot forget the meta world. So there are companies today having sending the VR gadgets headsets to their employees, and they are having a virtual meet. So it is like the virtual space in the meta where they can put in the virtual reality goggles and they get into the experience of the 3D world where it's much more immersive. It feels like as if you are sitting inside a conference room. So these kind of still, I mean, for me, it is still a new idea. Those are innovative ways which I heard from a couple of my friends. And another, some of the corporates which are using these kind of AI tools and also caring about the well-being of the company employees have started AI wellness coaches. So where you have fitness coach or wellness coach who works with the employees. Again, it's a combination of either a mobile app or the VR kind of a thing where they help in kind of making sure the employees are not burnt a lot, give them a support either physically or mentally, these kinds of exercises. Combination of a lot of stress management tips is also being done by certain employees or certain companies at the moment. The last one, which is a kind of a small thing, which it is getting popular now, is virtual coffee breaks. So what is it? Actually, it is during the time like when we are in the office areas, we used to take a coffee break and we used to have a small get together session where we meet, talk about something not related to work, and probably most of the companies have some kind of a gaming area where we have some snooker or whatever games is there. Now, these virtual coffee breaks is also becoming common, where again people are using this time to play some kind of an online games during that time, social interact. So bringing in some kind of an socializing method along with the day-to-day operations and making sure that that bonding is the team bonding is increased by introducing these kind of virtual reality or virtual kind of solutions at the moment. And the last from which I heard from the HR kind of from the perspective of usually the HR team is to encourage their employees in showcasing what they did at their home office setup and even coming with prizes and awards for the most creative and also something unique kind of workspaces which they did. So that improves again some kind of an focus and interest to the employees to set up something unique, which increases with first of all it gives you more kind of an interest to continue working if you interest on the hybrid and also make sure that there is some kind of a motivation behind working from home. So I think these are some of the necessity and innovative things which I have either faced or heard from my peers in the recent years.
Very interesting, very interesting. Arvind, you have such an extensive experience working with bigger organizations like VMware and all. So, what would be your advice as for the startup, especially? What kind of strategies and practices that they can implement to establish a proficient and remote or hybrid work structure. So, if let's say as a startup founder, who is having a, let's say for instance, a team of 50 to 100 employees, and they are planning to go hybrid, what would be your advice as far as the structure is concerned? What kind of structure a startup founder like that should follow?
Great, Swapnil. So definitely implementing any kind of strategy around hybrid or any other such strategy for a startup, I would say it's comparatively easier than doing it in an established company. One, you're starting clean, so that's one advantage you have. But again, it has to be very careful, and also there has to be a lot of practices, policies has to be defined so that these hybrid or these kind of workforces or everyone in the company knows uh, what is being expected out of them irrespective of what mode of work they do in the organization. So the first and foremost is going to be for any startup is creating a set of policies that define clearly communicate to all employees that what is the expectation is being expected from them. Either it can be in terms of work hours or it can be their availability or even the different mode of official communications. So after once the policy like these kind of things is set up, the next thing is with in startup nowadays definitely have some key people all around the world. It's no longer that we are talking about just in country. So when people from different world come into picture or people from different countries come into picture, there is a time zone difference, which is might also be if it's not being considered, might become one of the problem in terms of the growth and also the planning of the day-to-day things. So definitely we have to work on these kind of scenarios where the employees might be in a different time zone. So we need to make sure how the working time is going to be set, how it is going to be, what is the official communication, if it's going to be different 12 hours difference, how we are going to communicate, and all those things has to also be done for a start. That's one of the important thing. Usually it is been an afterthought, but I would say these things has to be considered at the early stages. And the next thing would be the onboarding. Since again it's a virtual world now, and the people may not be, or the your colleague may not be sitting next to you, might be anywhere in the world. So how the onboarding process should also evolve, and we should, the HR team and other people management team should make sure these processes are also dynamic. They should make sure that the employee who is going to join gets all the resources either shipped or emailed at the day one, so that there is not going to be any delays or not going to be any confusions on the day one of doing the onboarding. So also they have to have some kind of a creative kind of an onboarding plan where they onboard the new employees, and the communication to the entire team has to be set up. And of course, KPI for any employees, let them be working from remote or physical or hybrid, KPI has to be very clearly set. And as I mentioned earlier, KPIs are better being driven by a system rather than just being communicating over an email or some kind of a phone call. Definitely, the startup has to invest on modern tools, modern kind of services which they need. The first is paramount for any company right now is the collaborative tool. So make sure when you select the platform, let it be your email platform or let it be your collaborative platform, usually it's going to be a single platform. Make sure it supports collaborative tools, like either can be whiteboards or can be any other AI driven apps, so that there is a collaboration is already always been kept. And also make sure whenever possible try to engage using in video calls, so that gives a sense of face-to-face interaction in this hybrid world and other stuff, and which is also very important as a startup. Earlier when I used to do a startup, it was way easier, where we used to sit inside a room, inside a building, and everyone together, and things are getting done much faster and much quicker and much more focused. Definitely, it is kind of a difficult. So, investing on tools, especially the collaborative tools, is very important. So that brings in the togetherness, and that gives the focus for a startup, which is very important to make it a big success. And apart from collaboration, is the same cybersecurity. The startup has to be choosing the right tools. As I said earlier, it's no longer you need to buy the big firewalls and other stuff put in your centralized place. You may not even have a centralized place in this world. So now it's the tools which you choose, it has to be very intelligent enough, because these cybersecurity measures are the ones which is going to protect your employees' data and also your companies or your customers' data. So not skipping on it or not considering the later stage, these cybersecurity is not the right idea. Investing on the cybersecurity from the day one is much more essential for a startup or for any company at the moment. Also, create a flexible in-office schedule if you have in offices also for a startup. So, create a schedule that accommodates team collaboration, client meetings, and other activities that will benefit from the physical presence. And compliance, again, follow, make sure that wherever the employees is there, make sure that the compliance local laws are getting complied with. Again, there are a lot of laws from each countries. Make sure everything is being factored in if the employee is from a different country. Last but not definitely the least is plan for resilience and contingency. As a startup, we may not have a lot of people as a backup and other stuff, but develop a strategy, at least a core team. There should not be any, I would say, problems that arises either during any potential disruption of either can be a location is having an issue or a country is having going through some tough times or and the office is not accessible. Might be nowadays there are a lot of new problems which are arising. So make sure that you have a resilience and a contingency plan so that the business sustains and the startup continues to grow and achieves its the $1 billion target or whatever the vision they have. I think so. These are some of the
Yeah.
points which I have.
So, Arvind, thanks a lot. I think where I would be very candid with you. Very few times I come across technology leaders, especially who have such a strong hands-on understanding of HR or admin scenarios or issues. But I'm delighted to hear from you that you not only have a very strong understanding of technology, of course, as a CTO, but you have gone through the complete scenario of in terms of how to go through this complete process of transition to hybrid or remote working mechanism. So thanks a lot for your time for this event. And Kunal, over to you now.
Yeah. Thanks, Swapnil. Thanks, Mr. Arvind. Thanks to both of you for your time and valuable insights around the hybrid workforce enablement. And a special shout out to Mr. Arvind, who joined amidst an important family medical emergency, which again shows his high dedication towards his work commitments. So thanks again, sir, and our good wishes to you and family.
Hey, thanks a lot, Kunal. Thanks a lot, Swapnil. Thanks a lot, everyone, for having me here. And it's really a wonderful talking with you all. And
Yeah. Thanks for addressing the questions from a listener. And I'm pretty sure that everyone who's a part of this conversation was able to get some real useful insights. So all the best with the great work that you both are doing to empower the workforce. Cheers and keep rocking. See you all in our next episode. Bye for now.